The consensus is that maybe the Vikings have a shot at taking that crown of the NFC North away from the Packers. Is it fair to say that the Packers are in trouble when it comes to their division? Because under Matt LaFleur, they have won their division every single year.
Yeah, I mean, they're 39-10 since Matt LaFleur took over as head coach. I have a hard time seeing the Vikings taking this division this year. I know the Vikings have a talented roster, but a first-year regime, undergone some personnel changes. I still think the Packers are the most talented team in the division. I know everybody gets enamored with skill positions like we were just talking about receivers, and, of course, the Vikings have Dalvin Cook and all that. But this Packers defense could be in the conversation as the best unit in the entire division. I could be one of the best defenses in the NFC, if not the NFL. You look at the players who are going to play on defense, they've got 7 first-round picks on that side of the ball who will play. And I know draft position isn't everything, but they're all studs. When you just look at the starting 11 defensively, there is no weakness. I have a hard time seeing the offense, at least by season's end, not being good enough. Between having Rodgers at quarterback and a defense as good as this one looks like it should be, I have a really, really hard time picking against the Packers to win this division.
If Green Bay has a couple of slips on banana peels, I only see them really not being favored in 3 of the games this year. But let's just say things don't go right in a game against Pittsburgh. Would you be concerned that this might be really a wild card team and not a division winner for the first time?
I mean, it's the NFL. Very few things would shock me. The Vikings are good enough to where if they win the division, wouldn't just blow me away. However, I feel like we do this song and dance with the Vikings almost every single offseason, where it gets later in the process, the season gets closer, and we're like, oh, the Vikings might be better than we think, and then they go 7-9 or 8-9 now, or 8 or whatever. That's 7, 8, 9 wins, and that's just who the Vikings are. So I wouldn't be shocked. Again, they have a talented roster. I'm not picking against. The Packers have so many things. I keep going to the defense. Everyone always wants to make it all about Aaron Rodgers and the offense, and I get it. That's the sexy thing. It's an offensive league, but truly, the defense they have had their way with this offense. Rashawn Gary, I know you guys are a betting show. Whatever the odds are right now for Rashawn Gary, Defensive Player of the Year, I absolutely think he belongs in the conversation. He has been literally unblockable throughout training camp. I've said this before, I have trouble calling Rashawn Gary the MVP of training camp because they literally have the MVP, the league MVP here in camp, but he has been the most dominant player at training camp. I have a really hard time picking against this Packers defense and that recipe along with Rodgers to pick anybody else to win this division.